This week's episode continues with us heading further north in Iceland as we sail around a huge glacier-capped mountain and go off-grid finding nerve-wracking anchorages in the poorly charted waters of the Breiðafjörður archipelago.
Morning whale.
Morning whale encounter. We're just sharing an anchorage with a beautiful beast. Actually, I was in the middle of a conversation and Adam's just like, eyes right! I was like, what are you right about?
Eyes
no,
right.
no, eyes to the right. There's a whale. Hold my hands over my head.
I'm so
for
glad
5
the shot I
minutes.
was trying to get of turning on the engine is now ruined with you. Oh my
Oh, for
ears!
goodness sake, Az, why didn't you tell me I'm like right next to the noise? Tell me next time.
Turning on the engine.
Oh, thanks for that. Yeah.
You're welcome.
Well, we're on the move today and we're going to a place called Grundarfjörður. I think that was right. Oh, okay, all right. Oh, chain's bunched up. Hold on.
Ready when you are. Yeah, that looks good.
Okay.
This morning we're on our way to a place called Grindavik, which is about 40 miles on the other side of that mountain. So we're just going to windward out, not really sure what we're going to get. Coming along the side of the mountain, might be some katabatic gusts coming down the mountain, might be a calm in the lee of the mountain, I don't know. So for now we're just motoring about 3 miles out to the point. We'll see what kind of wind we're dealing with and then we'll make our course. We've got about, I think it's 12 miles up the coast of this beautiful mountain and then another maybe 20, not even, down to Grindavik where we're going to put a hook in for the night and sort of suss out our next hop, our next sort of destination. That is a destination in and of itself. Apparently it's one of the most photographed parts of this area. You can anchor off there, it is a busy harbour. We'll just play it by ear really, like we will go there, we will spend the night, we will go and have a look around, but we're sort of itching to get to the West Fjords as quickly as we can and we've got some pretty exciting stops to make on the way. So we don't want to like drag our feet in places that are like well and truly on the beaten track. So that's the plan today. Hopefully it should be a pretty cruisy day. Hopefully not too much motoring, but that is sort of what we're expecting. Did I say Grindavik? I meant Grundarfjörður. I didn't mean Grindavik. I'm still, my tongue is still learning to make the sounds and there's so many extremely complicated names here that they all start to blur. So we're going to Grundarfjörður, not Grindavik, which is on the other side of the island near where the volcano was. That's Grindavik down that way. Grundarfjörður, that's where we're going.
Well, we did manage to find some wind, which was good. Pretty much as soon as we came out of that bay, the winds picked up to about 14 knots, so definitely more than what we thought it would be. And it's actually, the angle isn't great, but doesn't matter, we're a sailboat, it's never great. We always have to tack and jive. So it'll be good though, we'll have a nice day sail, which is something that we didn't think we were going to have to do.
That's definitely a puffin.
Really?
It's got to be. It's
All
got a tiny little orange beak.
Puffin! cool dude captain pose. Well, we are almost in Grindefjordur. I hope I said that right. Ah, damn. Alright, maybe we can say that again. We are almost in Grindefjordur.
Got it.
Just past the amazingly huge mountain that this place seems to be famous for. And we've seen a few people taking photographs from shore, but we just have the best view because we're going right past it. Actually, maybe they have the best view because we're under it.
I think we're going to anchor right underneath it. We're going to try. We're going to try to. It's very calm tonight.
Yeah.
And so we can pretty well anchor anywhere you like, as long as the weather doesn't violently change, which it's not tipping to. Either way, we're going to give ourselves plenty of swing room and have lots of anchor out. We should be right in the lee of that.
That's
go
cool.
Well planned to.
Yep. So to be honest, we're probably just going to do an overnight stop here. It's currently 9 o'clock. And we're both pretty keen just to put an anchor in and get to bed and then make our way a little bit further east to our next anchorage tomorrow. This is the main coolness factor of this anchorage. So as soon as we wake up and have our morning coffee over this, tick that box. It's raining now though, it's a bit cloudy, it's a bit gross, so we're kind of looking forward to putting a hook in right now.
And we're off again. Just a small move this morning. It's probably 3 hours to the east, sort of further into the cove, I suppose you can say. We're going to a place called Stykkishólmur.
What happened to us not butchering the language?
I know. Well, that was my best effort. I thought that was quite good. Well, I wasn't sure if I should say this on camera or not, but Chiara and I have been like, you know, when you refer to places, you're like, all right, so Grindefjordur, we've got that. We can sort of say that. But then this place last night, we were like, we'll go to Grindefjordur and then we'll go to... We couldn't remember what it was. So all day yesterday, Stykkishólmur was Snaffleflaffle. So we just started making up names of places. And then once we reach agreement on what those places are, we're like, all right, so we'll go to Snaffleflaffle tomorrow, put in some roots, we'll launch the tender, and then it's off to another place. Whether or we can or can't say it depends on whether it gets a real name or not. So sorry, Iceland. It's all in jest, I assure you. But Stykkishólmur is probably not how you say it, but that is my best attempt at it.
So we're just arriving in Snaffleflass. Snaffleflaffle. We are actually in Anchorage,
in Skippervik.
in Skippervik, which is significantly easier to say. So we're actually pulling up into a slightly different anchorage than the main one because it seems a little better to anchor in, and we can just take a walk over to the town from there.
We have launched the tender. We are, I don't know, it's pretty tight. It's low tide, so this is like as small as the bay is going to get. And at high tide, it's going to gain about 4 meters of water, which is going to obviously push out the water's edge and it'll look a lot bigger. But at the moment, we're like, we're a bit close to that, we're a bit close to him, and I hope nobody else shows up. And
no, not
puffin.
puffin.
No, duck.
No puffin, sorry.
Anyway, puffin. It's about a three-quarters of a mile walk to town, and this anchorage is sort of a bit more sheltered. And the harbour's very busy, so the guide says anchor here and just walk across. So we're going to do that. We're just going to row, and the tide comes up at 8:30, so that dock's going to get infinitely easier than it is now. over the course of the afternoon. So it's a good time to go all round. So that's what we're doing. Oars.
Just forgot the seat.
Fun?
It's great fun, thanks babe. My gondola ride to shore.
Bit of a climb.
Yeah. Whew.
Slime under these. It's a lot higher right now that we're up close. Okay. Maybe you go up and take the green rope with you. Oh, it all looks a lot softer. It all looks a lot more squishy and soft when you're not touching it.
Yeah.
It's all barnacly and sharp. Oh, sorry, little dingus. Is that painter going to reach? Yeah, it is going to reach. Be careful, obviously.
And them up.
Stykkishólmur has long attracted settlers, and the area surrounding this small town is steeped in folklore and mythology. Its natural harbour and good fishing grounds around the Breiðafjörður Islands led it to be one of the first trading posts in Iceland. It was for this very reason that we were visiting today. The area of Breiðafjörður has more than 3,000 islands, with only one of these being inhabited year-round. The town of Stykkishólmur made for a good stop-off point to get supplies before we explored the more uncharted waters in this archipelago.
Alright, we've got supplies. Enough for a few more days, a few more weeks. No,
Quick lap around town.
Yep.
Tide's going to be about halfway up now.
It'll be interesting trying to get back into the dinghy.
I hope it's a bit easier. It was quite a climb. It doesn't look like it's come up that much though, so I don't know.
But ready
Honestly, I
to
just
set
hope
off
the
tomorrow.
boat's where we left it. I can see the mast from here and I'm like, okay, so she's facing ass to shore, which is fine, but it just looks, it's a bit of an illusion. It looks really close
Always
to the...
more nerve-wracking.
Yeah, you sort of want to run down there and be like, this is okay. I'm sure everything's fine. Moment of truth, is the dinghy where we left it.
Alright, the rope's still there. Hey, there she is.
Sitting pretty. How did she get on top of the rope? Oh, that's fine.
How are we going to get to it?
With great difficulty.
Alright, I'm on.
I gotta pass you the shopping down somehow. Got it?
We did it! Actually, I won't celebrate until you're actually sitting down.
Today is the day we're going off-piste, sort of, as far as our charts are concerned. So a friend of mine in Reykjavik asked his friend, who sort of gave us a bit of local insight to the area that we're in now. And one of the places they suggested we go is sort of, it's really not charted. Like, there's a certain section of this bay that on the Navionics charts is just sort of no man's land. It's very spotty. Sometimes the charts go from like lovely contour lines to just mystery blue. So you don't really know what you're in for. And this is sort of one of those places. Where we're going today is a place called Denanar Klaka, which is not really, it's not named, it's not charted at all on our Navionics charts, but this is a paper chart, a local paper chart for Breiðafjörður, and it is on there. If I'll put the picture on the map of what I received from my friend Kuyong, which is essentially just a Navionics markup with some scribble on it. This sort of says anchor here, and there's no soundings on the chart, there's nothing. And even this chart has no soundings for the area, so we're not really sure where we're going. It's only about 5 or 6 miles away, so worst case, we end up at the next place. No harm, no foul. So that's where we're going to go. We're getting off the grid a little bit. Everywhere sort of feels off the grid here. Icelandic summer day.
It is insanely calm today. The water is just glassy. It's either blowing a gale, which we had when we left Reykjavik, Actually, and the rest of the day was really, really lovely. Or it's just dead calm. And right now we've probably had dead calm for about 5 days, and then blowing a gale for a couple of days, like 2 or 3, and then calm again. It's pretty crazy. There are so many little puffins flying around, they're so cute. It's making me very, very happy just to see them like flapping furiously.
They're not the most graceful birds.
No. No, it's like, for a seagull, for instance, might have like 3 flaps, and a puffin has like 10. It's just furiously trying to get out of the water.
Its little legs are running, and it's like trying to...
Oh, it makes me laugh so much. They're so cute. So sweet.
So we're just making our approach into the air quotes uncharted anchorage. The chart says we have 12 meters the whole way in, but it also says that for a very large area, which means it kind of doesn't know what's going on. The good news is we're coming in with the tide, and so if we do have any problems, we will hopefully be lifted off, and we can get out in a short period of time. So we're going to just creep in really slowly. And put a hook in where the little scribbly dot on the little picture is, and hope for the best. As they say, never go any faster than you're prepared to hit something, so that's kind of the rule we're going to have, and we'll just creep in there at 2 knots, something like that.
Alright, so we're currently into the uncharted waters now. We've just gotten into there. It's 36 meters, which is very nice. But it looks like there's a 12-meter mark coming up. Rocks on the right-hand side and land on the left, so we'll see how we go. I've slowed us down a little bit, so if we're going to hit something, it's only going to be at 4.5 knots. Maybe let's slow us down some more, shall we? Ugh, I am a little nervous.
That's 15, alright.
We did see a few people coming through here though, so I'm convinced that powerboats can get through here at least.
I don't think it's gonna, like, people told us we can come here and it's 12 meters on the chart. If it was a seriously dangerous area, they'd say, don't come here, period, or it would be charted. I hope. I'd really rather not rebuild my keel in Iceland.
Yes, this is really nerve-wracking. I'm not cut out for this. Thank God we've already had a bump on this boat, and we know that our boat can handle it.
So we think where we're headed is just over there, other side of that little bit of land, so it's quite uniquely nestled in the hillside. Should be a beautiful spot if we can get in there and get a hook in. Situations like this, I can definitely see the case for forward-facing sonar. That would have made life a lot easier.
9.9. It's alright, we still have 7 meters under this.
So it's still low tide, it's mid tide, so we're going to gain water.
Alright, so this was the section here that I was a little nervous about. Just these rocks here. You can definitely afford to come to the left a bit more. I agree.
We're 5 meters now. That's 4 meters. 3.9.
We have enough room to turn around right now. What do you reckon? 3.6 meters, 3.5. Got 1.5 meters below the keel.
If I see less than 3, I think I'll call it.
Alright. It's going back up to 4.
That's good. Might have just been coming over a big pile of weed or something. 8. Could have been a big pile of weed or a rock. 10.4, that's good.
I swear I just took 10 years off of my age there. Oh, that was a bit stressful. 1 meter and a bit below the keel. Don't like that. That's about 5 feet below the keel, which is normal for people in the Bahamas, but not here in a rocky place.
Yeah, not when it's rocks.
Not in the middle of nowhere, rocky place. What are your thoughts on flying the drone here, babe?
Yeah, you're right. These are the nice birds. Still got 10 meters.
Alright, we're in here.
Michelin man's.
Well, we managed to get ourselves in. We re-anchored once because we went a little bit too close to that wall. But we're in. How cool is this? We have the whole place to ourselves and this whole like little...
I feel like we're going to look back at this footage in a week or whatever, and all anyone's going to hear is
From the sea.
Oh, they shut up then. Oh no, they're talking back now.
No.
There's a lot of seabirds
There are
here.
so many.
I think we're going to be up early and up late listening to the seabirds squawk their guts out.
Look at us.
Bit
We're
of a
adventurers.
nerve-wracking spot, but it's really cool to be in a spot that's not a spot.
Anyway, we're probably going to chill out here, have a nice anchor beer. Anyway, we're knocking off for the night.